Welcome along to Hawks TV, and we're joined by co-owner of the Blackburn Hawks, Graham Lomax. Graham, how are you?
I'm good, mate, thank you.
Good stuff. This coming weekend we've got a very special event as we mark the 35th anniversary of the Blackburn Hawks. How important is it to honour the history of the club?
I think it's massive. I think if you look back to, 10 years ago when we did the 25-1, I was involved heavily in doing that, and it was really well supported, wasn't it? If you remember, yeah. You were there. I think it was a fantastic evening all round, and I look forward to doing it again. And I think it's good to look back on the club's history and share it and enjoy it.
As a co-owner, what does this milestone mean to you personally?
Everything means a lot to me, isn't it? It's just not just this milestone. I think it's me as a person and the family and everybody being involved. It's what we do, and it's what we've always done, and let's continue to do it. So yeah, it's another milestone achieved for all of us, I suppose.
What legacy do you hope it leaves for the club?
I think legacy as we go forward. I think we're continuing to strive and get better. I don't think it's always been plain sailing at the club. So I think the word legacy, I'm not sure how that works or what it leads to, if you know what I mean by that. But I think the way we're going, the way the club's going, I think the future's certainly a lot brighter than it was, and hopefully we can leave a legacy.
The lads are going to be taken to the ice in those fantastic throwback jerseys that you can see just behind you. If anyone hasn't seen them, you can check them out on our socials. Can you tell us the inspiration behind that jersey and where it came from?
Yeah, well, it was twofold really, and you're probably aware that we meet regularly as a board, and we sat down and we looked at it. We thought, what's the best way to celebrate it? And obviously, I think it just rolls off the tongue that you've got to go right back to the beginning. And I think jerseys are a good way of doing it. I think all the theme nights we've done since we've owned the club have been really well received, and obviously these shirts are designed around the original Blackburn Black Hawks. There's been some discussion today and yesterday on the forums about that and one thing or another. So I think it's good to celebrate the past, and I'm not a fan of having an identical shirt. I don't think that works for me. So I think if you can base it loosely on the original design, I think we've done that, and I think we've come up absolute trumps with it as well. I think it looks stunning. The comments that I've heard and read so far, everybody seems to feel the same way. And I think, the idea of rewarding everybody with a fantastic group of volunteers, we really have, and nobody gets paid for what they do. And I think to get their names in the shirts, I think it's a lovely touch from all of us, and I'm sure the people who get to look at it and see the name in there will understand the sentiment behind it.
You just touched on it there. How important do you think it is to have the volunteers' names in the jersey design, and who came up with that idea?
I think it was me that came up with it, to be honest with you. I'm not one for taking credit for it, but no, I think it's, as the club grows and we strive to get bigger and better, one of the things that I've always been brought up on personally, I know everybody thinks the same way as me now, is that we have to reward everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody picks up any money, so how can we reward people? How can we get them engaged with us? And I think little things like this, it's not hard to do, is it? But, there's so many people who'll be so proud to see their name in there.
How do you think it reflects the club's appreciation of them?
Well, again, what I've just alluded to is that, it'd be easy just to do a random shirt and let's play in it. But no, I'm brought up on a slightly different generation to most. I think a little bit old-fashioned in terms of how we do things and how we reward people and how we look, how we're perceived, how we present ourselves. And I think that touch alone, I think it's great, and I know the people that's in there, I know they're going to love it.
The Hawks have always had a fairly large fan base, and in recent times that connection's got a little bit stronger, I think. How do you see that relationship with the fans now, and how do you see it growing in the future?
I think in the current climate, I think we're doing really well. Numbers are down slightly a little bit, but they're constant. The business is doing all right. I think it's nice to see lots of new and old faces coming back into the building. I think one of the constants that we're seeing at the moment is new people, new families commenting, joining in, buying shirts, fully engaged in what we're doing. comments about the match night presentation, comments about how well we do with social media. Everything with the business is going in the right direction, and I alluded to it not so long ago that time's gone by when social media first came around. There was a lot of negativity about the building, lots and lots, and that was difficult to manage. And I think at the moment we don't see any of that at all. You know, we haven't run away with league. We've got beating cup final. There's nothing negative. There's nothing derogatory said. And I think that's testament to how we all run the business, to be honest with you.
How would you describe the club's ethos today, and what steps are you taking to sort of elevate that professionalism?
Yeah, no, you're right to bring that up, and I think it's a really valid question. I'm glad you have done. We and me in particular, we've always prided ourselves on how we present ourselves. I think years gone by, and I've voiced my opinion about it many times before, we cannot be this club that is run so badly. We cannot be odd socks, we cannot be coloured helmets that are all over the place. We have to be the club that operates to its maximum. And listen, we're not professionals, we're semi-professionals, I suppose, but that doesn't stop us running the business, presenting the image that we've got in a fully professional manner.
Looking beyond this weekend, what does the future hold for the club, and is there any exciting developments on the horizon?
Exciting developments on the horizon. No, I think the fact that we're striving to get better and better. The board that I've got around me at the moment is so supportive. It's unbelievable. It's difficult to put into words, and I'm always thanking them for that. And I think, what does the future hold? I think, well, that's down to us in terms of what we can get out of this. I think, if I'm being brutally honest, if I sit back and analyse the season, we've probably got a better team than we had last year.
Yeah.
We haven't won anything, and we have to keep trying to win things. We've got to strive to keep improving the product. We've got to strive to win silverware. We've got to keep winning silverware. We've got to keep making the club bigger and better. We as a business know that we can invest a little bit more in a squad. As far as the team's concerned, I think we've now found ourselves at a bit of a crossroads where going forward we can't have any passengers. We're going to be full bore, 3 or 4 lines, whatever it takes. We're going to bust a gut as a business to get that product out there the best it can be for everybody.
Brilliant, thank you for your time.
No, thank you, you're welcome.